Morning. We'll see what happens. Probably need to pull back. That'd be my guess. Let's see if QQQ can hold up while RTY fills gap. As long as we're able to consolidate here and then we get a bounce on Russell filling gap while that's happening, should be fine. Just let this push for a bit, build out some structure, and then we can take some plays. What's up, Wayne?
German Finance Minister Lindner says the new EU fiscal rules.
Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, guys. I had a bit of an emergency.
Germany is not a model.
I probably am only going to be doing a half day today as well. But that is why I'm here early. Yeah, I did not have a voice yesterday. You're not wrong. But nah, I was at the hospital. Again, like if I don't see like a bid happen relatively soon, we'll probably just retrace a lot of this. We need to see sustained buyers in the morning, or it's just gonna have to come back. Things I'm watching for again are what happens once Russell fills the structure. Can NQ maintain its highs while Russell fails, right, and fills? And then can we get a bid here on RTY filling with NQ sustaining the highs? If so, then maybe we get continuation, right? But if this continues to fail and we don't have any strength into our gap fill, right? Uh, um, we might see NQ start to travel through back down to our value lows. It's too early for me to trade personally, but that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I'm just not seeing what we need to yet from buyers to convince me that this continues higher in any sort of like crazy fashion without having to need to fix structure. But that's not a trade plan, right? It's an idea. Just watching this 50 level, see if we can offer below it. Then we'd probably rotate back down to like 520 or something. If offer can hold, if sorry, if bids can hold here on NQ, then might be able to sustain. It's just there's zero structure in this candle, right? So we want to see if buyers can maintain here where these previous sellers were, right, where this liquidity was. And if they can, then sure, we can look back up at our highs and see if we can do something like this. But if we see a sort of rejection, I'm going to be watching for push back down into this liquidity from the morning. So it's really all I'm looking at. Is RTY now into our basing. So far, buyers holding 50s, retesting our highs now in NQ. Held where we needed to. RTY almost done filling gap. That might be enough. That 50 hold for NQ is incredibly important. Just building up this higher structure.
ECB's Vassal says, I wouldn't like to pre-commit to anything, and officials shouldn't rush to cut interest rates. The baseline is GDP is to grow in 2024 and quicken in 2025. Services prices are showing some signs of moderation, and we're approaching the top of the neutral rate range. US stocks extend gains, Nasdaq up 1%.
Got our bounce at Russell basing, right at the low. Filled our gap, immediate bid, and then continuation on NQ, just like we talked about. 50s held where it needed. Russell came into its lows, and then we got an overall bid on the market. Again, I don't trade the first 30, so I'm not taking this, but it did play if you did take it. We are now at NQ ADR. We're watching to see how the Russell reacts here into previous day value high here into 41. If this rejects, we'll look for a loss of momentum on RTY with NQ for a bit of a retrace of this into our NQ ADR. But if Russell can actually get over our previous day value, then we know where we're headed, right? We're going to go right back up to POC from earlier in this morning, up at 47.8. Got some news coming soon. Just keep that in mind.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get University of Michigan data, sentiment, forecast 69 spot 1 on the prior 68 spot 9, with a range of 70 spot 6 to 67. 1-year inflation, forecast 2.9% on the prior 2.9%. 5-year inflation, forecast 3% on the prior 3%. Conditions, prior 62.7, and expectations, prior 72.9. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get University of Michigan data. Sentiment forecast 69.1 on the prior 68.9, with a range of 70.6 to 67. 1-year inflation forecast 2.9% on the prior 2.9%. 5-year inflation forecast 3% on the prior 3%. Conditions prior 62.7 and expectations prior 72.9.
Gap fill in NQ. I mean, there's nothing that says that we want to fill a gap as of yet. We're just trending up. We'll see what happens after news. You don't want to short strength. My overall idea hasn't changed at all. I mean, we're doing exactly what we thought we would, which is gum down into demand, take out the low, and then immediately push and make a new high, which is what we're testing right now on QQQ. So if we can build here, it's incredibly bullish for the market. But I do expect this high to be taken out, and then us need to consolidate here at the top of our range, ideally, for proper breakout. If we just push immediately over and then don't come to retest, it's not going to be all that great. It's going to create more volatile moves in either direction. We want to see like a very clear shift of value where this supply that we've been sitting in for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, actually is a real shift, right? We want to see buyers now willing to buy here and not just sellers absorbing here. So we'll watch to see what happens as we push into this, take out this high, and then we'll see how much of a pullback we need. But this is a pretty strong trending market. XLK into our top of our range as well, right? We can see the same thing. I think XLK shows the range a bit better, seeing how tech focused this has been, right? We got our break, and now we're pushing right back into our highs. I think it shows it a bit better than QQQ as a whole. But we've got a financial breakout, which is huge, and we have the tech sector now pushing up into our highs. So what does it mean if financials break out and are able to hold, and we're able to also see tech break out and hold? And then we have an overall market rallying, right? But if these both reject and then come back down, then we're going to have to retrace a bit of this before we can continue on. So again, I'm just waiting for news, waiting to see how we can fill the structure. I don't trade first 30 minutes of the day. But yeah, again, we've been talking about this move for weeks and weeks. What I've been wanting to see.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with the University of Michigan sentiment final.
Got an immediate bounce at our Russell. Pivot. No, it's just a waiting game. See how our news affects this.
Ten seconds. 70.5, 70.5 higher than forecast, 69. 1 year inflation, 2.7%, 2.7%, lower than forecast, 2.9%. 5 year inflation, 3%, 3% as expected. Expectations, 74.1, 74.1. Conditions, 64.9, 64.9.
Nice. I'm glad that you got that back. Yeah, you bothered them enough where they had to care.
US stocks extend gains. The S&P 500 last up 0.8%.
Russell bounced where it needed to. POC from previous candle. Retesting our highs now. ESNQ still pushing. All right. I think we go to 46.6 here on RTY. Just retest POC after bouncing previous candle. Offer should be sitting here at 46.6. We can start to look for some trades now that it's after 10 and news has dropped. Got our big ol' bounce, just like we thought we would, off of RTY gap fill. NQ holding our 50s. Now just trying to build out the structure up with our highs. ES testing ADR. See if RTY can break. ES held ADR high as resistance. Russell lost momentum into our highs as well. Just looking for pullback levels now for across the market. Russell can find a low, a higher low here. That would be ideal for a continuation on NQ and ES. NQ at our value high edge and bouncing. Good first signs. Need to see it get back over 670 in bid though for a confirmation of this move, or that'll be your first risk off if you did buy value edge. 670 should be where offer is sitting if sellers are serious for a lower high. $15 seconds until new 15s. No confirmation yet that we want to break down trends, but we did double bottom on NQ. Again, we want to see it push over 670, and we want to see Russell be able to get back over our value edge. Failure for Russell to get back over its value edge, we'll be looking at this as a rejection of our value and a rotation down to POC and VWAP before we actually get anything else on anything, I would say. Right. If Russell rejects, we lose momentum. We have to come back down to POC. So just watching to see how we build. Again, we want to see a clear bid over 70s for this move to be valid, or you want to be risking off into 70 if you are playing off of this 50 edge on NQ. Same as if you bought 50s, if you're shorting off of 70s into the offer, this is your first risk off. I'm out one here. Looking for 615, 620 ideally on the runner. If we can hold below 50s. If not, then 50 bid will stay, and then we'll look to see if someone can get offsides here and then play over 70s for long. Until then, though, you're just trapped here with Russell weakness. Again, we rejected our value high edge and are rotating down to POC, just like the pathing indicates. Into our 70 again, see if we can get over and hold, or if this is just going to rotate down again. Bid is definitely attempting 70s. See if they can hold it. Russell rejecting. Just waiting to see what happens here. This would be our first risk off on 70 hold into 95, top of our range here on NQ. Other than that, there's not really much here. Got to see if the Russell can get over value. Just should be a flag into a trending up market. If we get any sort of continuation, we'll see if we get a secondary bid. Good hold of our PVZ. We're watching to see if NQ can build over value high in our ADR. Or sorry, ES can build over our value high in ADR. If Russell can get this move, then we have an overall market moving up. I could see us having to retrace a bit of this, but we should be looking for 70s to be defended now on the look above. It's pretty important that this now holds. Again, we're in a trending market. Yes, retesting ADR as potentially supportive. Again, what we're looking for is a shift of value. Can buyers hold where sellers were? If so, then we can keep going. If not, then we will rotate through this range again. Very clear distribution.
The Nasdaq hits a record intraday high, last up 1.4%.
Watching our reaction into our 70s. And this is like our only area of active buyers that are here, right? So we need to see a willingness to trade below this or expect the bid to be here. This is Russell retesting our value edge as supportive while this is happening. Look to see if buyers can sustain here. Russell, amazing rebid at our value edge following pathing. Has room up to our VPOC up at 255.55. All the way up here if we can rotate above this pivot. If you bought 50s, or sorry, if you bought 70s on NQ into our dip buy that we were looking for, this is your first risk off into our stacked rebid reversal line at 700s. We'll look to see if we can break. Sup, club? There's really not much structure here. We're watching to see if 80s now holds as supportive or if we can build over this absorption that's taking place right now.
So, a senior IMF official says the Bank of Japan's first priority should be to remain data dependent and be very gradual in the process of raising policy rate. And they should remain cautious and gradual in raising interest rates as risks are balanced. There is a high uncertainty on the outlook. The practice of supplementary budget is better left for times when there are big shocks to the economy. The Bank of Japan should keep assessing the impact of huge FX swings on inflation and devise monetary policy path against assessment of what happens to inflation. Yen depreciation on net benefits Japan's economy, which is a very outward oriented open economy.
Good bid off our initial buy. Need to get over this LVN though, or sorry, this HVN that we've got above us, or there's not a ton here, right? We're just hitting our heads on this. Watching to see if buyers can hold this area. If they can, then we can keep going up. If we can get this bid above. Just waiting on Russell to see if it can flag above value here and ideally push. If it can't do that, then this is all we get for the short term. If we want anything to continue, then yeah, you want Russell. All of our movement today has been solely off of Russell's discretion to find a pullback bounce. If that ceases, then you're not going to get your pullback bounce, and sellers have control for the foreseeable future until we get down to like 40 if we don't hold at this 70. This is POC shift retest here on NQ. ES has continued to fail at ADR. Immediate bid at our 70 level for liquidity. We'll see if we can get over. Into our offer here off of our hold of our 70s, watching to see if we can get over this 90 to 700 on NQ. Need to see that for any continuation, or we see absorption occur again.
7 million barrels per day in October after Kazakhstan maintenance ends, according to sources.
Immediate rejection off of our offer. Push back down to our edge below. Let's see if we can see a higher low on NQ into our 80s, or if we need to push back a little bit further. Russell still no real movement. We are seeing a bit of weakness into our value edge, but we're just waiting to see if this has any sort of significance. If RTY fails here to get back over value and bid, we might just need to see a larger pullback, but Other than that, not too much here. We know that there's a buyer here on NQ. We know that there's a seller here on NQ. You're either trading this range or leaving a runner to see if we get a break, or you're waiting for a break of our buyers and for this to be our seller value. There's, again, like, it's pretty simple. Russell rejected our value edge, making this a bearish move and a pushback down to our previous value. We are now watching to see what our reaction here is on Russell into our VWAP level. If Russell can get a bounce here at VWAP, then we have potential to shift back up and recover. We are going to want to see sell side show a pretty aggressive hold here on RTY at our ETH high. That would allow us to rotate down to POC for one more leg. If Russell is able to catch this bid and get back over, then that's probably the end of this sell side. We went right to our buy side liquidity on NQ and immediately bid. We're watching to see if they can shift value where sellers are now holding 70 as resistance. If this buyer recovers, then there's going to be no change. Sellers will try to hold 70s. This yellow box, you want to see the offer hold if they're going to continue down. If not, then they will be offsides, and we will look for this to become supportive again, and then look for this to breach, because now we have offside sellers into the lows. We will then look for a breakout. Russell rejecting ETH high so far. almost at Russell PT here. This is where we'll watch to see if a basing occurs. This is a retracement off of our failure at value high and then our rotation down. We got our secondary move off of ETH high rejecting, off of a slight relief off of VWAP. We are now doing the full rotation down into our basing. We'll look to see if Russell can gain a buyer here, right, now that we have fallen back down to value, and we'll see if we can get another move on NQ. NQ should be coming down into ADR and VWAP. Watch to see if a bid can step in. We don't see someone at 30s. Expect this to rotate down into like, I don't know, 605, 615 area. That is your next best bet. So we'll see if a bid can step in here with Russell bidding. See if that was enough of a liquidity grab. Russell got our bid right where we wanted it to, right into our value low. We have now gotten our full move on RTY. Let's see if we can gain some momentum again, or if it fails to get back over VWAP. Very important.
We get the Canadian budget balance with a prior of -4.4 billion.
Hopefully,
we also expect comments from Fed
people
who participates in a fireside chat at the
are
Expo hosted by the Blank Economic Council of Massachusetts Boston Convention and Exhibition
holy
Center.
shit, stop talking. Hopefully people are seeing the relationship that I'm talking about with Russell. I mean, every move has been completely and totally just there for you to take if you're following the relationship of Russell loss of momentum into key pivots and just play off of NQ value. The relationship is on full display. There's not a ton here. Either sellers push us below 630 and then hold that offer for continuation down, or bid is able to hold here on a recovery of this 40 to 50 area, and we rotate back up to 70s, right? So
We're seeing US chip
not
stocks
that's
rising with
really
broad-based
it.
gains. The likes of Micron, Broadcom, Marvel Technology, Qualcomm, and Supermicro all up.
There's no short here unless we bounce into 70s and then see a clear offer,
The
or we
iShares
push below
Semiconductor
630
ETF
and then
got
offer, and
1%,
then we rotate down to a value low.
Semiconductors ETF up around 2.2%.
This is just a stay in long situation right now, as long as this 40 to 50 is holding. Watch Russell as we retest ETH high.
That's 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We get Canadian budget balance, prior minus 4.4 billion. We also expect comments from Fed's Collins, who participates in a fireside chat at the Mass Black Expo hosted by the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. No text is expected, but there will be a Q&A with the moderator.
What's up, Julian? Yeah, sorry, it's been a rough month for me. Been out quite a bit. RTY coming back down into our low. See if we get another bounce or if our value edge will no longer hold its value. NQ still holding where it needs to. Again, need to see a very clear look below 630 and then offer for a continuation down on NQ. Watching to see if Russell is able to bounce again and then just make this a new range oscillation. Again, there is no sell here on NQ that is worthwhile until we can get below 630 or test back up into our offer into like that 70 to 80. Don't want to be caught here on the wrong side of a trade if Russell does bounce. This is just buy side demand right now.
1 minute remaining.
No, I don't play first 30 minutes, regardless of what happens. But we talked about it.
Canadian budget balance minus 2.55 billion, minus 2.55 billion.
We've been looking for this move to happen for quite some time. This has been our idea for a while, was take out these lows and then meet demand and then be able to push for new highs off of this move now that we trapped sell side liquidity. It's our plan from a few days ago. Now we're looking to see if we can build here for new highs for continuation. Finally got out of this godforsaken range. This is, of course, should be your first risk off if you're listening to me whatsoever. This 40 to 50 area is continuing to hold, and we have now rotated into our 70 offer. It's your first risk off. Feel free to leave a runner, but like this is the range. Play the range. If you get more, great. I appreciate it, Julian. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just so tired still. It's just everything else is going on as well. My grandma's had like 3 strokes this month. So I was at the hospital yesterday with her. And then I'm going back there today, or probably at like 12:30, so only a half day today. It's just been one of those months. And she's just old. she But the issue is like she's like done with life. You know what I mean? Like she's old enough where she's like, it's whatever. Like get me out of here. But for all of like the grandkids, it's like, oh, this might be the last time we see her. So we go there whenever something like this happens, even though she's like content with it.
UK Reeve says Chinese investment in the UK is welcome, but should be reviewed on case-by-case basis.
You don't want it to be that the one time you don't go is the last time. You know what I mean?
Basic needs and reduce reliance on countries that don't share our values.
It's all good. Yeah, you guys are. It's just life. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are listening to me. Again, this will be your first risk off here if you shorted that 70 to 80 area where the offer is. Again, 50 to 40 is where the bid is. We are rotating in a range. Russell is sideways at our base. Watch to see if we get a break or not. only short continuation signal that you're going to get that is a break of this range is a hold below 630 on NQ. Other than that, we will continue to rotate until we see someone trapped and then a secondary offer come in or a secondary bid come in. We have 5.5 minutes left on this candle. Russell is just holding VWAP. Let's see if they pull it. Yeah. I was told this is the best time to trade. I mean, the rotations have been very clear. It might not be trend, but it's free money. You literally just have to buy the two levels that I said, you know? I don't know. It might not be
And UK Finance Minister Reeves says, I'm confident that US-UK relationship will stay strong no matter who wins the US presidential election.
I don't think it's just you, Julian. It's pretty sideways, brother. What's up, Gav? How you doing? Oh, that looks gorgeous, man. Yeah, sorry, Grotto. Not much I could do, but I knew Mario had you guys in the afternoon.
The Barclays CEO says the UK will likely deliver a tough medicine in the budget.
I mean, everything should follow through. This is where we'd want to see ES bounce, yeah. We're just waiting on the RTY, though. Until that has momentum, I don't really see a reason for us to keep going higher. Looks like we'll probably go for a liquidity grab down into like 610, 615 on NQ, would be my guess. And I would be looking for one more leg down on Russell, a rejection here, and then a push down into our VPOC and previous day POC. That's just a guess, though. I'm assuming ES needs to come down into our day open. And we'll see what happens from there. Don't think that we get any sort of breakout unless Russell can find momentum again. If you did short 70s, congrats, right? We're just down to the bottom of range. NQ sellers need, I can't stress this enough. We need to see a very strong offer here if we're just going to rotate right back up. Offer needs to be at this 30 level for this rotation down. Without it, it's just not going to be great. I'm telling you now. Like, this is where sellers have been absorbed multiple times now. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of this trade, which is why I said short continuation only happens on an offer below. Yeah. And if buyers can lift this back over 50s, then we can rotate up again with them trapped, right? So like you need to see this push below 30s and then hold offer, and then we can start to do like a larger structural rotation. But until then, like the range is the range. See if Russell can get back over, or if this just like slight pause is just going to lead to that last downside leg that we're looking for. Watching like 35.6 above, 35.6. If not, 15-minute 3-bar. I mean, I don't know. It's too early to tell. It's an inside candle for sure. We reject 70s, then maybe a 3-bar down. I mean, we could just reject here, right? 50s or 70s. It doesn't really matter. 50s would be ideal for your 3-bar, though. And then a look below 30s.
Canadian dollar weakens to a near 12-week low at 1.3874 per US dollar.
Is RTY testing our offer, 35.6. We'll see if it holds. This is what we want to see for another leg down if we were going to do it. The ideal scenario here for sellers is that we absorb buyers into 650, right? And then we push below 630 and offer. That means that you have buyers trapped at 70s and then 50s as well, right? Which would be a shift of value. If they fail to do this and buyers can win this out at 50s, then we probably make a new high of this range, right? With them being punished, the sellers being punished for trying to absorb here. So it's very two-sided, right? We're just kind of waiting it out. I don't know which way we go yet. The general idea would be that we go down if Russell rejects here, and that should lead to that next leg down, right? That's the general move, kind of the feel right now with Russell still in downtrend. But you got to be very careful with NQ, with where it's trading right now. The potential for us to just punish is so high. See if the Russell can lead us, figure out which way it wants to break. Again, like any loss of momentum into these key pivots for RTY should lead to at least some scalping opportunities. Maybe not the best opportunities because we've already clearly defined our range, right? So those are your better opportunities, but RTY loss of momentum is a trading opportunity as of right now with how close everything's following. I hope everyone's on the same page. If there's any questions, please let me know. And if you're like still not like understanding the relationship that I've been talking about with RTY and NQ on the day, I highly recommend you just go back and look at our reactions where Russell finds a bottom and starts pushing up, and when Russell finds a top and starts pushing down, and the secondary reactions that RTY does. Look at what the NQ moves look like when those reactions happen on Russell, and you'll understand what I mean. We'll see if ES can find a bid here or not. Russell's just doing our move, right? Saw the weakness where we wanted into our 35.6, immediate rejection, retesting our lows now. Watching to see if we get a bit of relief here for a double bottom, or if we go to our next target here on Russell, which is previous day POC. NQ into our value low, looking to see if relief is found here as well, or if we can start to rotate through some of this really poor structure we made earlier in the day. This is our day open on ES. So again, either Russell's able to double bottom here, or we should get our continuation down. I would assume. Again, this is our NQ value edge. We're waiting to see if this can hold or not. Offer, if this does hold on NQ, look for the offer up into 36.40. I would assume it'll be sitting there, if anywhere. That 36.40 area. I don't expect this thing to continue to be a slow grind for all that much longer. Our VWAP reversion is down at 550, 560 area on NQ. So at the end of the day, that's kind of where I'm targeting price to actually head. If we ever get some acceleration, we should be headed down there. For any more bearishness on ES, we want to see a very clear hold below 870. 870 on ES is your 30-second opening range low and where most liquidity is resting. We'll see if a bid can hold into 870. For a bullish move, we need to hold 870 and then recover our 79s, 879 on ES for anything. We are currently just traversing back down to our 30-second opening range low right now.
So, according to Barack Ravid on X, the US Army Central Command announced that reinforcements of US Air Force F 16s arrived today from a base in Germany to a base in the Middle East. The announcement comes against the background of preparations for an Israeli attack on Iran and a possible Iranian response.
Is that also the green box on PVZ? Yeah, it looks like it. But that's just our 15-minute VWAP on Globex for me on Tradeovate. That's usually like when we start to like do these slow drifts, that's usually my target. It's just like, oh, okay, well, we'll look for like some structural level bounces, but like the overall move is probably just headed to a mean reversion. And again, like that's only if Russell doesn't hold here. We just hit target on Russell into our VPOC and previous day POC at 31.7. We either see significant buying happen here to hold us, or we just wrote down to ADR. Yes, is of course rejecting our 75.77 and is probably going to head down to 70s, I'd guess. But I mean, this isn't great trading. The levels were given. Just got our rejection of our 30s on NQ. Just back to our value edge. It's not been staying too long. I mean, we're in an overall downtrend, right? It's just a slow grind. Right? Like, you have to remember that this is what we're doing right now. This is down. And all we have is this really poor structure below us. So all we've done right now is just retest POC from this bid from this buy side candle, right? So the idea here is either this like 610, 615 holds, which was our target we talked about, or we start to see a rotation where this POC becomes resistance, right? And then we can rotate down, and that would be coming down into our 80s and then 50s below. So it's just a matter of, does this buyer maintain here? And can Russell hold our target edge where we thought it would bounce? Again, if as long as you're basing it off of Russell structure, like there are opportunities, right? Like it's just the market's going to have momentum as soon as everything starts running together, and then you just, yeah, as long as you understand that, like we're good. Hmm. There's not a lot here on NQ specifically. We've got someone that's absorbing into 50-60. Need to show that is supportive for upside. Offers attempting to move down there. For sell side, need to show an offer below 610, 615 area. It's really important that sellers are able to get us below that. That'll be a good signal of a shift of value if we can no longer hold our PVZ edge, right? But Russell, perfect bounce off of previous day POC and our VPOC, retesting our highs now. We'll see if this rejects or if we can continue to push up. Remember, we want a loss of momentum on RTY for any sort of like real downside moves, or it's probably just going to oscillate in this range on NQES. See if buy side liquidity is here. Again, like this 610, 615 area is where you'd want to see if the offer is able to push below, we'll be watching for sellers to try to really shift value here. That would lead to a rotation down to like 580, 590. If buyers fail here and then the offer holds. Watching to see if RTY makes a higher low at our halfway back gray box. Sellers are attempting to absorb buyers into 610. See if they can shift offer below value here on NQ or if they get stuffed. RTY holding our halfway back so far for a higher or low bid. It's a bit iffy. I could go either way. We want to see a bit stronger overreaction from sellers if this is going to maintain as a shift of value. If not, I don't know. Doesn't look all that promising. See if sellers can do it. We want to see like a decent amount of aggression here. Yeah, that is the idea. Got to see the shift though. RTY holding so far. Next offer is sitting back up at 630. So you'd want to see this hold, this like 15, right? They're going to lower offer, or we just rotate back up. But at least 30, 40. Forty seconds until new 15s.
German finance minister warns of retaliation if the US kicks off a trade war.
I'm gonna grab something to drink. Hopefully we've gone somewhere by the time I get back. Anywhere but here. True. I have zero confidence in the sell while Russell maintains higher lows. Held POC from previous candle. This is where we are, just to give context again. Like, this building here is not a bad thing. I want to, like, really, I'm going to keep reiterating this chart because everything about it is played. And, like, this is what we need to do, is we need to be able to build where previous supply was, and this needs to shift into new demand. Yeah? So this could be choppy. This is why it sucks, is because we're battling with these previous highs and we are trying to find acceptance above our previous range that we ranged in for quite some time. So if it can succeed, right, we have upside. If it fails, then we're gonna have a lot of people trapped at the highs again, which resulted in this move last time. I had a big old push down. So it's just it's a battle. And I just want to point this out, which is why we have this RTY divergence, is we got our look above on XLF, which is our financial sector, and then we've gotten our look below. We're going to probably need a retest, would be my guess, when we get this dip in here, and then we can look for something like this for a continuation. And we have tech holding our highs of our range, right? So we're watching to see how these interact. Are they going to continue to diverge and do the opposite reaction where financials break down but tech breaks out? Because if so, like, NQ can carry, right? We just need the lift. We need to see a bit more. But if it can hold here, it's a really great sign that, like, that tech bull market's back on. If this continues to fail, right, like if we fail at these highs again and this rotates down with Russell falling, then we have overall market kind of moving to the downside, right? We don't have a rotation out of defensive into more growth names. We have overall just pull out of money, which is not good. So we want to see the shift into tech and tech to start to really carry. And then Russell can do whatever the hell it wants. This is where we were absorbed last time into 40s. See if it happens again. If the seller's not here, I don't see a reason why we don't trade back up to 70. So either sellers are willing to hold the lower high, right, and start to absorb here again to trap buyers and then rotate down, or I just expect buyers to be here now. If we can maintain over 40s, we should just rotate back up to our previous seller up at 70. That'd be my guess. Just waiting for Russell to figure out which way it wants to break. Again, like the issue here is that we now have a new buyer, right? We're now holding this zone where our previous candle pushed down, buyers were able to step in and then hold POC, and now we're rotating back up. We know that there's a seller here into 40. We can see them. But if this guy goes bid, right, then we're going to rotate back up to this POC to value high up here at 70 to like 65. So it's really just a matter of, can the offer maintain here at 40s? Ideally with Russell breaking out of this structure as well. The market's just going to be shit without both RTY and Q figuring it out at the same time. Watch our retest into 15s here, our value low. 615. 610. You want buyers to be able to hold if they're going to on a recovery of value into our LVN. This is basically like buyer last stand in my opinion. Kind of a lame day for it to be a half day for me, but I mean at least the ranges were good and our ideas were good. There was plenty of opportunity to make money, but it's just a bit slow. You guys probably aren't used to trading this kind of market because it's been a while. It sucks when like 90% of the move is done in Globex. Because then it's just like the next day is just either it's like just like a finding acceptance up here after a Globex move, you know? Yeah. Did anyone watch the Tesla earnings call? Was it good? Anything new? I didn't have a chance. Any new lies? Any big promises with, yeah, overpromising? Anything in particular, Grotto? Was there an update on the robots?
According to a Harris poll, France's President Macron's approval rating is the lowest since January 2019.
How the Cybertruck is profitable is beyond me. I've done like 9 recalls on that thing. Retesting our 40 offer, see if they can still sit here or if the bid flips. It is holding where it needs to so far. I really want you guys to keep that in mind for a right side of V play. We got our hold of our bottom POC. We are now retesting POC on the next candle as supportive here. We are trying to breach over the seller. Again, if we can make this supportive, this is a good sign that we want to rotate back up to 70. It is attempting. Russell is still sideways, however. Very sad. But NQ order flow does not look terrible here. We can get this lift over 40s. We've got a seller who's trapped at 30s. It's the same as before, where like sell side has to be able to build below 30 for any short con.